Hey, this is Notser, and we are doing the user replay of the week. Guderian115 is in the Des Moines class cruiser on the map Trap. Now, if you are interested in submitting a replay, please send it to notserreplay@gmail.com. Please have the replay file, in-score screenshots, 1 to 2 sentence summary, and please also include the ship name in the title of the email. That really helps me out. I get so many great replays, there's no way I could possibly share them all, so we do the next best thing. Try and fill in gaps in our coverage of the game. I haven't really released a US cruiser in a while, and the North American server is doing a fast track right now for the US cruiser. It makes sense. If you have an epic moment as well, please include a timestamp to the exact moment in the replay so it's easier for me to find it. I really appreciate all the support. And let's see how Guderian does. Now, his division is pretty awesome. 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, 1 destroyer. Very balanced. They can basically do whatever they want to help the team. This enemy, Fubuki, is trying to capture B, or at least keep it contested. There are a ton of torpedoes in the water, and Guderian needs to decide, okay, I'm going to narrow up and not try and take that damage. He's also trying to assist the gearing. I'm sure they're on comms in some regard. And hopefully they can take out... Ooh, nice. They got the front turret. I assume it's the front turret of the Japanese destroyer. He's only got 2 more left, I believe. It's been a while. I assume it has the 3 turret setup that most Japanese destroyers tend to have at high tier. But Guderian is a little aggressive, to say the least. He's going into the center of the map with cruisers and battleships in range to engage him. He does not have smoke. His friendly has used smoke. This is very aggressive, and that's why I like it. Even if this doesn't work, it should be a blaze of glory. So he's engaging the Izumo, who appears to, for whatever reason, be disinterested in engaging Guderian. Just allow a Des Moines to engage you and set you on fire. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Des Moines do the most DPS. I believe they have the capability of doing the most DPS. Now, does that actually work out in reality? Not so much, because people can move around. The arc of the shells don't work in your favor when you compare it to the Zhao. The Zhao actually is the top cruiser in damage consistently. The HE is just so strong, and HE really is where you get consistent damage. AP is the big shot. HE is what you live by, though. And that's why a lot of teams run with Japanese cruisers. They have the superior HE by far, the highest chance to light the target on fire, the highest consistent HE damage, plus they bring torpedoes, plus they have great concealment. I also run great concealment in my Des Moines. He is definitely detected though, and I think the Izumo is onto him. Yep, here comes some fire, and Guderian is angling accordingly, and he takes very little actually. But look how many fires are on the Izumo. He's got 3, I believe. I think the stern is the only part of the ship that's not on fire. And in 0.5.5, his screen is just going to be covered in fire effect, which you can disable if you so choose. But I'm sure that everyone on my channel is going to be excited to see me burn down in a blaze of glory. However, I don't want Guderian, and he doesn't. The Izumo does. Guderian does not get the kill. However, he contributed a lot too. Actually, he only set 1 fire. Wow. Well, he did consistent damage to the target. He also basically got the enemy Izumo to use his damage control so he could be easily taken down by all of his friendlies. They've, of course, successfully captured B, and the division has lost their friendly destroyer, the gearing. I'm sure he regrets the way he played the beginning of the match. I know I would. It's very easy to overextend and kill your ship in a gearing, but it's much more impressive to stay alive for the rest of the match. Your torpedo systems are nearly as good as the Japanese, so there's no reason to throw away your ship. You can play very passively once you've transitioned out of the start of the match. So Guderian is ready for the Hindenburg. I don't know if the Hindenburg is going to come around the island. That would be suicidal. However, he did make it appear that that's what he was interested in doing. This Shimakaze is in the area, and he should be the priority target for the Des Moines. Des Moines love to kill destroyers, so he leads the target. He gets 6 shots to land. 6 of his 9 shots land. Oh no! Full stop, full rudder. Oh, he's going to take 1, maybe 2. Come on. Please don't. Oh, of course a flood. Of course a flood. Now, something interesting about Guderian. He's not using any premium consumables at tier 10. This is very rare in my opinion. Honestly, I watch a lot of replays and I just don't see this often. Perhaps he felt like the division was powerful enough so he could sort of save on credits. Oh, nice. 10,000 points of damage, AP at the waterline on the Hindenburg. I don't know why the Hindenburg came out. He knew that this could be a possibility, yet he still came out and his engine is gone. He's just dead in the water in front of 2 or 3 friendly cruisers. But this Shimakaze, the Hipper, there's also one other ship in the background, and I think the Shimakaze's pulled a Notser. Poor Shimakaze. Des Moines cruisers love to see a destroyer stuck on an island. He pops a smoke, but honestly, it doesn't matter. He's just going to fire at the exact same position and get a little bit of damage. Now, he's predicting that he's moving forward, but it doesn't actually look like he did move forward. I think he's still stuck. And now, maybe he's moving slightly forward now. This should be good. He shot in between. Oh, I missed. This is the thing that annoys me. Never mind, he's moving. Get him. Get him. Shoot him dead. Shoot him dead. There we go. Good job, Guderian. Now, Guderian is paying for not having premium damage control. He's got 2 fires, significant damage. He's coming to basically a complete stop. And my first view of the replay, I was like, why is he doing that? And then I looked back about 10 or 15 seconds. There was a cruiser that was on the other side of this island moving towards this gap. I believe he predicted that the enemy is waiting to ambush him. And you see an aircraft. That aircraft is at sea level. That obviously did not come from the Hipper. And I believe the cruiser sent it out in an effort to see where Guderian is. And now he's got a perfect attack. With AP at the waterline, he fires and he takes out the Mogami. I don't even think the Mogami had an opportunity to send their torpedoes. I'm pretty impressed that Guderian was patient enough to allow the Mogami to make the first move. In that situation, I would probably have felt like I have a clear advantage skill-wise and just run out in front, take extra damage, and it honestly would probably lead to my downfall. Guderian is engaging the Iowa. He has torpedo warnings. Friendlies! Come on, guys. Let's not try and kill the friendly. He's got to slow down. And the Iowa gets a huge shot. Bow on Des Moines. The dispersion gives him 17,000 points of damage. And now Guderian is regretting everything. He's very low, of course. He doesn't want to engage an Iowa with that much health. He's got to manipulate the situation to his advantage. Now, what could he do? I don't know what he could do. The Iowa really does have a huge advantage. As long as he doesn't make a weird mistake, like stay really close to the island and allow for his ship to be penetrated, he should be in a perfect situation. He's got a friendly aircraft carrier, which appears to have put himself right next to the island. So there should never be a situation where they lack information. And the Iowa needs to play it correctly. Guderian is the closest target that the Iowa could legitimately engage. There are a cruiser, battleship, and a destroyer that are in pursuit. However, they should not be an issue. There's an island right there. So Guderian chooses to use his heal. I'm glad he did. He needs all the health he can get. He loads in AP. Okay, so that tells me he feels like he's going to get an opportunity at a broadside Iowa. And it does look like the Iowa is at least willing to show his side. I don't know why. That is the only way the Iowa can lose. The enemy aircraft carrier sends his aircraft towards Guderian. However, the Des Moines chews up and spits out everything in the air. You really need to be a tier 10 to have any chance to get your aircraft to the target. when a Des Moines has defensive fire going. And even still, it's going to be a bloodbath. And just look at how much of his aircraft are completely wiped out. He didn't even need the full duration of defensive fire, and he's actively attacking. I'm sure he's setting the aircraft as primary targets to increase the damage he does even more. But Guderian does an interesting tactic here. He willingly runs aground. At least that's what it looks like. He's trying to force the Iowa to come around the island, and the Iowa is falling into this trap. He's rounding the island very, very closely. He's putting a perfect broadside, and Guderian fires. He gets 2 citadels, 13,000 points of damage. He's already ready to go. The Iowa has yet to fire. The Iowa fires, but it's too late. Guderian did a massive amount of damage. I think he did like 30,000 points of damage in 8 seconds against the Iowa. Just an insane amount of damage. And the Iowa could not have played that situation any worse. He could have made any decision and come out much, much better. Probably even killed Guderian. I'm sure that battleship is just kicking himself. I have done stupid plays as well, and I kick myself every single time because I know I'm the one who killed myself. Guderian was not the one that showed a huge amount of skill. All he did was wait for the Iowa to make a mistake, and he was in the perfect position to punish that awful mistake. I just feel so bad for the Iowa. Now the friendlies take out the aircraft carrier, and Guderian was trying. That was not your kill, Guderian. I would have done the exact same thing. I would feel like, he tried to kill me. He tried to assassinate me with his aircraft. Obviously, it wasn't going to work because I'm in a Des Moines. But still, it's personal, right? Yeah. So Guderian does a great job. He's headed towards the center of the map. His friendly battleship is still alive, pretty healthy, who is attempting to capture B, and B is contested. He is not actively capturing it, so we know that there's an enemy destroyer at B. Yes, you can easily identify that. Whenever you see the diamond shape, that means there's an enemy on the point, whether you see them or not, and you need to be ready. And as a battleship, it is terrifying to see that there is an enemy destroyer on the point, because there's absolutely nothing you can do. The destroyer should never be visible to the Yamato, unless he makes a mistake, or gets assistance from an aircraft, which is trying to protect himself right now. He's got his own issues, so the friendly battleship is on his own, and for whatever reason, the Mayhan shows himself. I think he was probably sitting in smoke, and he underestimated the battleship, but he played this extremely incorrectly. You should never be in a position to be scouted against a battleship. You should just harass him with your torpedoes. Now, I realize that he's trying to give his team a chance to win, but there's plenty of room around the capture point that you can move in and out and prevent the total capture. So the Yamato gets a good amount of damage on the Mayhan. He's now below 50%. He should be able to, theoretically, land a little bit more and finish him off. I don't believe the Yamato has a secondary build. It appears that his secondaries are wildly missing, and Guderian tries to assist like a good division mate. Oh man, he's so low. Can Guderian take him out? No, he misses long. What? Detonation? The battleship died to a torpedo detonation? Are you serious? That Mayhan is one lucky little destroyer. The Yamato was nearly full health. He died to a torpedo detonation. I'm sure he's very angry on comms. So Guderian fires one last shot. The enemy destroyer disappears. And it looks like he's gonna... Whoa! That was amazing. He's able to kill him. He gives a little bit of smile. Yeah, karma. Karma. It comes back to you. Lucker. That's one letter away from what the destroyer really wants to say. But he shouldn't say that because he was even more lucky to be able to do 80,000 points of damage in one torpedo because of detonation. Come on. Come on. That happens like once in your entire existence playing World of Warships. I don't think I've ever had a full health detonation or nearly full health detonation that has worked in my favor. I've certainly detonated, but I just don't recall taking out a battleship that was that healthy and benefiting from it. Maybe I have. I know I've shot a lot of cruisers, and cruisers, destroyers, they're much more within reason to detonate, but for battleships, it just doesn't happen that often. And for it to be a torpedo, I mean, and he needed that. That was the only way he could survive that scenario, and it happened. The game is going to end without the enemy destroyer showing himself. Guderian's going to capture B, and it's going to just tick down. That's the way the game went. Guderian did a fantastic job of being patient. There were two specific scenarios where I know my impatience would have cost me my life. So Guderian earned double strike. Dreadnought, 5 kills for a Kraken Unleashed, 9 Citadels, over 650,000 credits earned. He earned 3,665 base XP. Just an absurd amount of carry. And he killed 34 aircraft to top it off. Guderian did around 125,000 points of damage in an 18-minute game. He did a good job. He did a fantastic job. He really helped his team win the game, and it showed in the replay. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Des Moines and Guderian. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.